Welcome to Drama U. The most heart-shaking animated film of 2025 is here. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc is not just a visual feast, but also hides deeply moving Easter eggs that will make you cry. Today, let's dive deep into analyzing this masterpiece that created a box office miracle. First, let's talk about the amazing achievements of this film. Infinity Castle Arc Chapter 1 Akaza's Return has broken through 11.4 billion yen in just 9 days since its release in Japan on July 18th, becoming the fastest film in Japanese cinema history to reach 10 billion yen. In Taiwan, it created even more miracles, breaking through 170 million D in just 3 days and accumulating over 556 million tebi in 17 days, surpassing F1 movie to become Taiwan's 2025 box office champion. Such results are definitely not coincidental. Let's dive into the key analysis. The most exciting aspect of this film lies in how ufotable expanded the relatively simple battle scenes from the original work into a dual feast of visuals and emotions. First is the presentation of the Infinity Castle Otherworld space. In the original manga, the description of Infinity Castle was relatively simple, but in the animated version, ufotable invested tremendous effort using top-tier 3D technology to create a truly infinitely changing castle. Each room can rotate and flip at will, and the connections between floors follow no logic, like a giant Rubik's Cube constantly changing. This design isn't just for visual effects, but also to create a sense of confusion and oppression. When Tanjiro Kamado, Giyu Tomioka, and others are transported inside, the audience also gets lost in this eerie space alongside them. Next, let's look at the film's biggest highlight, the character development of Akaza. In Mugen Train Arc, Akaza appeared as a villain, powerful and cruel. But in Infinity Castle Arc, we finally see his complete story. Akaza's original name was Hakuji, a young man who had to steal to save his father. This setting itself is very interesting because it breaks down the traditional good versus evil binary. Hakuji's life turning point occurred at the Soryu Dojo. There he met two people who would change his destiny, Master Keizo and the Master's daughter, Koyuki. There's an important Easter egg here about Hakuji's martial arts talent. He could quickly learn Soryu techniques, which foreshadowed his later becoming Upper Rank 3. More importantly, his love story with Koyuki added human warmth to the character. The film has a particularly touching detail, Hakuji's gentleness when teaching Koyuki martial arts. These scenes use warm color tones, forming a strong contrast with his cold image after becoming a demon. Ufotable's handling here is very delicate, using changes in color and lighting to express the character's inner transformation. Then we come to the most tear-jerking part, the poisoning incident. The neighboring dojo, jealous of Soryu Dojo's success, actually poisoned the well water, causing both Master Keizo and Koyuki to die from poisoning. This plot is described relatively simply in the original work, but the film version adds many details. Especially the scene where Koyuki is still worrying about Hakuji before dying really makes people cry. There's a deep Easter egg here. After Koyuki's death, Hakuji chose revenge. He killed the poisoning culprits, and this act to some extent foreshadowed his later fate of becoming a demon. Because the flames of revenge planted seeds of violence in his heart, giving Muzan the opportunity to transform him into a demon. Now let's look at the exciting aspects of the battle scenes. Tanjiro and Giyu's joint battle against Akaza is the core segment of the entire film. This battle is not just a contest of strength, but also a collision of souls. The perfect coordination between Tanjiro's Hinokami Kagura and Giyu's water breathing creates amazing visual effects where water and fire merge. Particularly worth mentioning is Giyu's 11th form, Dead Calm. This is a sword technique he created himself, representing his deep understanding of water breathing. In the animation, this move is presented in a very special way. All attacks are stilled on the water surface, then instantly disappear, like a calm lake. This presentation method is not just a technical innovation, but also a visual expression of the character's inner tranquility. Tanjiro shows tremendous growth in this battle. From only being able to observe from the sidelines in Mugen Train Arc, to now being able to fight alongside a Hashira-level swordsman, his progress is obvious. More importantly, he learned the see-through world ability, allowing him to see through enemies' weaknesses and attack trajectories. But the most exciting part of this battle isn't the technical duel, but how Tanjiro touches the humanity deep within Akaza's heart. When Tanjiro shouts Akaza, "I'm going to cut off your head," this isn't provocation but respect. He treats Akaza as an opponent worthy of direct confrontation, not an enemy requiring sneak attacks. There's an interesting contrast here. In the original work, this scene is relatively simple, but the film strengthened Tanjiro's samurai spirit display. He clearly had a chance for a sneak attack, but chose direct confrontation. This upright attitude is the key to touching Akaza's heart. The film's climax appears in the segment where Akaza begins remembering. When Tanjiro attacks him with his fist instead of a sword, this punch, though physically ineffective, strikes directly into Akaza's heart. This punch makes him remember Master Keizo's punch from the past. Remember that warm doge. Oh, remember Koyuki's smile. There's important symbolic meaning here. Tanjiro's fist doesn't represent violence, but sincere connection between people. Just like how Master Keizo once used his fist to stop Hakuji from stealing, Tanjiro's fist is also saving Akaza's lost soul. Akaza's awakening process is the most moving segment of the entire film. Even with his head severed, he still regenerates through strong willpower. But at this point, he's no longer just a demon who only knows fighting, but Hakuji who has regained his memories. He remembers his promise to Koyuki, remembers his master's teachings, remembers the kindness deep in his heart. Finally, Akaza chose self-destruction. This choice seems contradictory but is actually his ultimate expression of true love. He didn't want to continue betraying his love for Koyuki, didn't want to remain Muzan's puppet. His disappearance isn't failure, but redemption, victory in returning to his true self. The film has many details worth deeper analysis. For example, Akaza's blood demon art destructive death. These technique names are all filled with violent imagery, forming a strong contrast with his inner tenderness toward Koyuki. This contradiction is precisely his charm as a character. Another Easter egg concerns the meaning of Akaza's name. In the original author's setting, the name Akaza itself carries the meaning of a castrated dog, symbolizing his loss of innocence and ability to love as a human. But through Tanjiro's influence, he regains these lost beautiful qualities. From a technical perspective, ufotable demonstrates the highest level of animation production in this film, especially the visualization of breathing techniques. Each breathing style has its unique aesthetic. The passionate intensity of flame breathing, the fluid beauty of water breathing, all are perfectly presented. In terms of music, Yuki Kajiura's score adds epic grandeur to the film. The tense excitement of battle scenes and the warm emotion of memory scenes are all perfectly enhanced through music. Especially the background music when Akaza finally dissipates. That emotion of tragic heroism mixed with liberation moves countless audiences. The voice actors' performances are also a major highlight of this film. Akira Ishida's interpretation of Akaza is richly layered. From cruel demon to Hakuji regaining his humanity, every emotional transition is handled perfectly. Natsuki Hanae's Tanjiro is more mature and steady, showing the character's growth trajectory. This film is not just an entertainment work, but also a philosophical reflection deeply exploring humanity, love, and redemption. It tells us that even the darkest souls may preserve seeds of light. As long as there's love, redemption is possible. From a cultural perspective, Infinity Castle Arc embodies the essence of Japanese anime culture, integrating deep humanistic thinking into intense battles. This way of perfectly combining entertainment with education is an important reason why Japanese animation can captivate global audiences. In conclusion, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Arc Chapter 1 has not only created miracles at the box office, but also reached new heights in artistic value. It uses exquisite animation techniques to tell a story about love and redemption, showing us that even in the most desperate situations, the radiance of humanity can still illuminate darkness. This is why this film can move so many audiences. It doesn't just bring us visual shock, but touches the softest parts of our hearts. In this fast-paced era, being able to quietly contemplate the meaning of love and the preciousness of humanity is itself a valuable experience. And this is only the first chapter of the Infinity Castle trilogy. There are more exciting stories waiting for us. The battle between Doma and Shinobu Kocho, the final showdown with Muzan. Each chapter will bring us different shocks. We believe ufotable will continue using their craftsman spirit to present us with more unforgettable works. If you haven't seen this film yet, I strongly recommend choosing the IMAX version, because only on the big screen can you truly feel the magnificence of Infinity Castle and the shock of battle scenes. If you've already seen it, why not watch it again? I'm sure you'll discover more hidden details and Easter eggs. This concludes today's analysis. I hope it helps everyone understand this masterpiece more deeply. Remember, true strength isn't having the most powerful abilities, but being able to protect those you love, being able to persist in inner light within darkness. Just like Tanjiro, using gentleness to influence hatred, using love to dissolve darkness. This is the true message that Demon Slayer wants to convey.